So last week we were discussing from Canto 3, Chapter 5 and 6, wherein the elemental devatas, in order to understand what they are supposed to do and how they are supposed to do, in order to gain the empowerment of the Lord, they offered prayers. Lord became pleased with their prayers. So, as an answer to the prayers of the elemental devatas, the Lord entered into each and every element as the cohesive energy, so that all the elements can come together. By that combination, there appears unlimited Brahmandas, which were floating in the causal ocean. So at this point of time, the Brahmanda is simply a empty shell. It is just only outer covering is there, inside it is all empty. Then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, after 1000 years of the formation of these empty golden cells, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into each and every universe. And then he creates lower half with the water and upper half is with the ether and space, ether and air, etc. But that Garbhodakshaya Vishnu will manifest a subtle universal form so that all the devatas can perform their respective functions. So that was the context under which we were discussing. So after 1000 years, the Purusha, the soul of the mass of the Jivas, Hiranyagarbha, the Lord situated in time, karma and Swabhava, one who gives life, brought to life the non-living universe, which was lying in the water of Karna ocean. So as the universe, as the Brahmanda was floating in the Karna ocean for 1000 years, after that, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu entered into that universe and he brought life to it. Previously it was lifeless. Now Garbhodakshaya Vishnu brought life to that dead universe. That is indicated. Then we also saw, I think we saw up to verse number 8. So in 7th verse, we saw that this fetus, the universal form which was there, the seed form. Okay, what happened? This fetus, composed of the 24 elements, endowed with Jiva Shakti, Prana Shakti, and Atma Shakti, divided itself up into 1, 10, and 3 parts by its own powers. So, as the universe is formed, along with the universe, the universal form as the seed also manifested within the universe. Now, as the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu entered into the universe and brought the universe into life, then the seed begins to grow. As a first step, the seed is divided into 3 parts, known as Jiva Shakti, matlab Deva stands for Jiva Shakti, Karma stands for Prana Shakti, Atma stands for Atma Shakti. Jiva Shakti, Prana Shakti, and Atma Shakti. So there is 1 Jiva Shakti, 10 Prana Shaktis, and 3 Atma Shaktis. So like that they are manifested. The 3 Atma Shaktis are Adibhuta, Adhyatma, and Adideva. We'll discuss about them in today's class. So as a first step, the seed has been divided into 3 parts. 1 Jiva Shakti, 10 Prana Shaktis, and 3 Atma Shaktis. And today whole class is about what are these? What is that 1 Jiva Shakti? What are those 10 Prana Shaktis? And what are those 3 Atma Shaktis? That will be the discussion for today's class. Then we also saw text number 8. Eshai Yashish Sattvanam Atmasa Paramatmanaha Adyo Avatara Yatrasau Bhuta Gramo Vibhavyate. So this seed which is expanding now, eventually it will further expand and it will manifest a subtle universal form. And that subtle universal form is called Hiranyagarbha. And that Hiranyagarbha is considered to be soul of the entire universe, as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the super soul of the entire universe. Since Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the super soul of the entire universe, and the subtle universal form which is getting manifested from these 3 divisions, 1 Jiva Shakti, 10 Prana Shaktis, and 3 Atma Shaktis, so that form is called subtle universal form. And that subtle universal form is called as Hiranyagarbha, which is like the Jivatma within the entire universe. And Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is like the Paramatma. So it is like that. So this is where we stopped last time, and we will continue from text number 9 onwards. Sadhyatma Sadidaivascha
साध्यात्मसादिदैवश्च
Sadibhuta iti trida
सादिभूत इति त्रिधा
Virat Dashavida
विराट प्राणो दशविधः
Ekada Hrudayena cha.
एकधा हृदयेन च. Translation: the gigantic universal form is represented by 3, 10, and 1 in the sense that he is the body and the mind and the senses. He is the dynamic force for all movements by 10 kinds of life energy, and he is the one heart where life energy is generated. Hare Krishna.
So those three divisions, well, same thing. The previous words only kind of expanded again. The three Atma Shaktis are the Adhyatma, Adidaiva, and Adibhuta. Adhyatma means the subtle senses. Mataji, kindly mute. Adhyatma means the subtle senses. Adidaiva means the sense devatas. Adibhuta means the gross organs along with the sense objects. The five tanmatras and gross sense organs are called Adi Bhuta. The universal form has 10 prana shaktis, Dashavida prana. There are 10 prana shaktis and 1 Jiva Shakti with unbroken consciousness. So, what are those three divisions? They are kind of mentioned once again in this verse. The 1, 10, and 3 mentioned in verse number 7 are described in reverse order in this verse. The three Atma Shaktis are Adhyatma. Adhyatma refers to the subtle senses. Adidaiva refers to the sense devatas. Adibhuta refers to the foundations, the gross sense organs and the sense objects. The 10 pranas are, so the 10 pranas, what are the 10? Prana, Apana, Samana, Udana, Vyana, Naga, Krukara, Naga, Kurma, Krikara, Devadatta, and Dhananjaya. These were the 10 pranas which are part of Prana Shakti. So, what are their functions? Prana moves forward and it is located in the nostrils. So, whatever breathing we do, inhaling and exhaling, that is called prana. Apana moves downward and is located in the anus. The excess food after digesting, it will be excreted through anus with the help of apana vayu. So apana vayu will do the needful below the navel. Samana causes assimilation of food and drink, which are eaten and is located in the middle of the body. So whatever we have taken food and water, it gets assimilated with the help of samana vayu. Udana rises upwards and is located in the throat. Udana rises upwards and is located in the throat. Vyana moves elsewhere. Vyana moves everywhere and is located in the whole body. Naga causes expulsion. Kurma causes eyes to open. Krikara causes hunger. Devadatta causes anning. Dhananjaya causes nourishment. Like that, each of these 10 pranas have their respective function. So all those functions are briefly mentioned here. The one Jiva Shakti refer to all Jivas who are living within our universe with unbroken consciousness, with undivisible consciousness. So it is like that. So this is how the three different divisions manifesting from the fetus, from the seed of the subtle universal form are indicated. How they manifest in the gigantic universal form will be mentioned from verse number 11 onwards. In text number 10, Maitreya says, what was the purpose of the Lord in entering as the Antaryami to manifest the 3, 10, and 1 Shaktis? So these Shaktis are manifested from the seed. So why Lord is manifesting all these things? Like that somebody may question. So that is answered in the next verse. Smaran Vishwasrujam Isho
स्मरन् विश्वसृजामि सो
Vijnapitam Adokshajah
विज्ञापितम् अदक्षया
Virajam Atapatsvena
विराजम् अतपत् स्वेन
Tejasaivam Vivartaye.
तेजसै संविवर्तये. Translation: the Supreme Lord is the super soul of all the demigods and entrusted with the task of constructing the cosmic manifestation. Being thus prayed to by the demigods, he thought to himself and thus manifested the geometric for their understanding. Hare Krishna.
The Supreme Lord Bhagavan Adoshaja, remembering the prayers of the personified elements, the elemental devatas, decided to create this universal form by his Chit Shakti, Svena Tejasa, by Lord's own internal potency, so that the elements could perform their. Because the elemental devatas prayed for some service. So in order to facilitate their service, the Lord is going to manifest this gigantic universal form. So that is the purpose. He remembered the prayers such as Yavat Balim Teja Harama. By his Chit Shakti, the Lord manifested this universal form so that the devatas, the elemental devatas, could easily perform Bhakti. Shruti says, Chakshushas Chakshur Uta Shrotasya Shrotram. I am the power in the eye and the power in the ear. This is how the scriptures say that how Lord is all powerful. He is all pervading also. This means that the Karana Srishti, this means that the Karana Srishti, power of producing results, manifests in the effects. So whatever is needed for the elemental devata, the Lord is going to through this universal.
Can't hear you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I am speaking loud enough.
I know, but I somehow
Prabhuji, the voice is breaking.
it's breaking and totally feeble in between.
Okay, now you are able to hear me.
Sometimes loud, sometimes no.
Now you are able to
Yes.
hear me. So that may be
Yes,
because of the
Prabhuji.
entrance fluctuation. But anyway, okay. So now the universal form will be presented from this verse onwards. Any questions till now? Hare Krishna, any questions from any devotees?
No problem.
Okay, fine. Ata tasya bitaptasya
Atatasya Atatasya Taptasya
katidayatanani yahnaniha
Patidayatananiha
nirabidyanta devanam
Ravidyanta Devanam
tani me gadata shrunu.
Tani me Gadataha Trasyunu. Translation: Maitreya said, "You may now hear from me how the Supreme Lord separated himself into the diverse forms of the demigods and after manifestation of the gigantic universal form." Hare Krishna.
In this universal form, which had appeared, places arose for the various devatas. Hear about these from me as I speak. So basically, when you have been recruited in a particular company, you need to do some activity. So for you to do any activity, you need some basic facilities. The facilities such as office space, a bookshelf, a table, a computer, pen, notebook, pencil, scale, such kind of things. The basic things which are required in the office. So same thing, for the devatas to do their respective services, the Lord is going to manifest the basic facilities so that they can do the respective jiva. So various abodes for the devatas became differentiated in this form manifested by the Lord. Please hear from me. Like that, Maitreya Muni is requesting. So now, the distinction between the three Atma Shaktis, 10 Prana Shaktis, and 1 Jiva Shakti, where they have been explained, I have put in the breakdown of the sections. The manifestation of the three Atma Shaktis, Adhyatma, Adidaiva, and Adibhuta, at the universal form, is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 3:6-12-26. Even though yesterday devotee, so it is like that. So in this chapter, text number 12 to 26, we will see how these three Shaktis have been manifested. And then text number 30 to 34 will see the manifestation of the 10 Prana Shaktis as Kriya Shakti. How Kriya Shakti is manifested, and they'll take the responsibility of the respective this thing. And the manifestation of 1 Jiva Shakti, the manifestation of the 1 Jiva Shakti in the form of Devatas, human beings, Asuras, along with the followers of Rukshadurga. That means Yakshas, Rakshasas, Bhutapeta Pishashas. This is described in 3:6-27 to 29. So in one sense, 12 to 26, 27 to 29, and then 30 to 34. All these verses will talk about the manifestation of the three Atma Shaktis, 10 Prana Shaktis, and 1 Jiva Shakti. So now 12 to 26, 3 Atma Shaktis. तस्याग्निरस्यां तस्यागिरस् तस्याग्निरस्यां निर्भिन्नं
तस्याग्निरास्यं निर्भिन्नं
लोकपालो विसत्पदम्
लोकपालो विसत्पदम्
वाचा स्वांशेन वक्तव्यम्
वाचा
स्वांशेन वक्तव्यम् ययासौ प्रतिपद्यते. Please read the translation, Ruji.
Yes. Agni or heat separated from his mouth, and all the directions of material affairs entered into it in their respective positions. By that energy, the living entity expresses himself in words.
When the mouth became differentiated, so I just mentioned, just like when we join in an office, first they will give us office space, then all the basic required things like computer, table, and other things, and then what we are supposed to do, the task will be given to us. Same way, the Lord is providing the office space and also the task, what they are supposed to do. So from 2-3 verses we understand all these activities. Of course, many verses also. When the mouth became differentiated, Agni, the precedent deity, entered that place. As soon as the mouth manifested in the universal form, Agni, one of the 14 elemental devatas, entered into the mouth of the universal form. So the mouth of the universal form is the office space of Agni. And from there, he will perform his respective service. He entered that place. He entered that place along with the subtle sense organ called voice. Along with the subtle sense organ voice. Basically, the mouth is the karmendriya. So mouth has a activity to do. What is the principal activity of the mouth? To speak, to produce voice. So the activity entered into the mouth of the universal form along with the translation. So it's called voice, its portion by which the universal form could utter words. So when it is said that by which the universal form could utter words means everyone within the universe can speak. Because Agnidev, being situated in the mouth of the universal form, will look after the activities of the mouth of Agni entered the mouth, its abode, which became differentiated in that fetus, along with its portion, the voice, by which the universal form could utter the words. Basically, the universal form first manifested mouth. So Agni, who is the uh, deity of the mouth of the universal form, entered into the mouth of the universal form, so that he will supervise the activity of the mouth, that is speaking. So who will speak? Everyone in the entire universe will speak. So that is said as the universal forms will speak, something like that. In this and the following verses, the object differentiated in the accusative case, okay, here mouth refers to Adhisthana, the Adibhuta aspect. So whatever gross element it has been, so whatever gross organ that manifests, it is indicated as Adibhuta aspect or Adhisthana Karana, the original cause, something like that. The gross location in which the subtle senses reside, that is called Adibhuta, otherwise Adhisthana. Agni and others Agni and others in the nominative case are the preceding deities, the Adi Daiva aspect of the universal form. So after the mouth is created, mouth is Adibhuta. The Adi Daiva, the preceding deity, enters into that. The deity is called Adi Daiva. And then Adhyatma is activity. The voice in the instrumental case is the case voice, Adhyatma aspect. The voice in this case sense objects or tanmatras exist only for the 5 knowledge senses and not for the action senses. So for knowledge senses there is tanmatra, for the jnanendriyas there is tanmatra, the sense object in the form of sound, taste, etc. For karmendriyas the sense object is the activity performed by the karmendriyas. The mouth speaks, the speech itself is the sense object, something like that. You are able to follow these 3 divisions, how it is? The mouth is Adibhuta aspect. The mouth of the universal form, which is generally made up of earth, water, fire, the grass, fleshy item. So in that mouth, Agni Devata is situated so that he can look after the activity of the mouth, producing speech. So the Agni is Adi Deva aspect. And speech, it is Adhyatma aspect. So like that, the three aspects are indicated here. The same principle will be used for the remaining senses and their respective activities and sense objects, etc. So first mouth manifested, that is Adi Bhuta, is the grass organ, grass physical mouth in that sense. Then Agni enters into the mouth of the universal form so that he will supervise the activities of the mouth of the Vani. And then he comes as so Adi Bhuta, then Adi Deva enters. One second, Puji. Then the voice is Adhyatma. Like that, everything manifest. We'll discuss. Yes, Prabhu.
Guruji, Adhyatma is senses and Adibhuta is gross senses. Right.
Grass sense organ. Adi Bhuta means that which is made by Pancha Mahabhutas. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. The mouth means the fleshy mouth, the physical fleshy mouth.
Okay. Then Adhyatma?
Okay. Adhyatma is the subtle sense organ or the activity that is being performed, producing voice.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
So we'll see now. Nirbinnam talu varuno.
Nirvignam talu varodam.
Lokapalo visadare.
Lokapalo avifare.
Jihvayamshena charasam.
Jivayam afena charafam.
Yayasau pratipadyate.
Yafo pratipadyate. When the palate of the genetic separated, Varuna, the director of air in the planetary system, entered therein, and thus the living entity has the faculty to taste everything with his tongue. Hare Krishna.
So, within the mouth, the palate, when the palate of that form became differentiated, the presiding deity Varuna entered along with his portion, the subtle sense organ, tongue, Jihva. By the tongue, that form could experience taste, the sense object. This is also Adibhuta. So here, first mouth manifested, and within the mouth, talu means palat, the grass tongue, that is called palat, that has been manifested. Then Varuna entered into that grass tongue of universal form so that he can perform the activity of supervising the activities of the tongue. So then the Varuna entered along with the subtle sense organ known as Jiva. Jiva means the subtle sense organ which transmits the information that we tasted from the grass tongue to the heart. There is a mechanism which acts like the transportation via medium, which takes the signal, the sensation. When we eat food, when we keep the food on the top of the tongue, there is a information about what kind of taste the food has. And that information will directly go from the top of the tongue to the heart. And this mechanism is called subtle sense organ, that is Adhyatma aspect. And then we experience some taste. That experiencing taste is again Adibhuta, because taste is connected to the component earth. So since earth is being came down, so now this example is clear. The universal form is called as the Lord. because the universal form is meditated on at the Lord. So here, the previous one is a karmendriya. This is a jnanendriya. In jnanendriya, there are three aspects are there. One is gross tongue, which is called talu. Other one is subtle tongue, which is called jihva. And the deity is our Varuna. And the activity is tasting. So the gross tongue is Adibhuta. The taste is also Adibhuta. And the subtle tongue is Adi Atma. The Devata Varuna is Adi Deva. So like that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, that subtle sense organ is Tanmatra.
Subtle sense organ is not Tanmatra. Tanmatra is also a property of the gross element. Na? Taste is the property of the water, which is one of the 5 gross elements. So wherever water is there, taste will be there. When water element is like Adibhuta, one of the Panchamahabhutas, then taste also will be Adibhuta.
Acha.
Adhyatma is the subtle sense organ, the mechanism which takes the experience, the taste information from the tongue to the heart. That is called subtle sense organ. There is a gross tongue that is called talu, and subtle tongue is the which transfer the information of the taste of the food to the heart. That is subtle tongue. That is the adhyatma aspect.
Okay, Prabhuji, but this palate is a gross organ that is
Yes.
situated in the mouth above the, I mean, it is the roof of the oral cavity, right?
See, yeah. From our English, I mean, understanding palate means we say the upper portion of the mouth, we say like that. But here we should understand that the gross tongue, the upper portion, along with that, the gross tongue, the fleshy tongue is there now within the mouth. That is called palate here.
Okay.
Which is actually collecting the taste information and passing on to heart. The information collection and passing on to the heart is the mechanism of subtle sense organ.
Okay.
Later on, we see another example with respect to the eyes. There is eyeball, there is eye mechanism. The eyeball will collect the information, and the information is sent to the heart through subtle sense organ eye. There is a gross eyeball, which is fleshy eyeball, and there is subtle sense organ. The gross eyeball is called chakshu. Not chakshu, akshani. The subtle sense organ is called chakshu. So there are different names are given in Sanskrit. Hare Krishna, other devotees, if you understand one, remaining all are similar only. If you understand one karmendriya, one jnanendriya, remaining all are same. Are you able to see the distinction between what is the gross sense organ, what is the subtle sense organ? You please tell me whether you understood or not.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Others?
Prabhuji, the bodily functions will come under subtle or this is or gross?
Both. It is a combination of both.
Okay.
See, when you see something, how it happens? There is a gross sense organ, eyeball in the face. There is subtle sense organ, eye, which actually takes the information from the gross eye to the heart. There is something called hardware, there is something called software, we can say something like that. One subtle sense organ carry the information to the heart. The gross organ will be located at the same place, which is made up of earth, water, fire, ether, the gross elements. So like that. So whatever has been made by the gross elements is called Adibhuta, and whichever can transform the information from one place to other place is called Adhyatma, and whoever Devata supervise the activity is called Adi Deva. So like that. So now the next example you see. निर्भिन्ने अश्विनौ नासे
निर्भिन्ने
निर्भिन्ने
अश्विनौ नासे
अश्विना
1 person Baba. Vishnor avishatam padam
विष्णोराविशतां पदं
grane namshena gandhasya
घ्राणेन अंशेन गन्धस्य
प्रतिपत्तिर्यतो भवेत्.
प्रतिपत्तिर्यतो भवेत्. Translation: When the Lord's two nostrils separately manifested themselves, the dual Ashwini Kumaras entered them in their proper positions, and because of this, the living entities can smell the aromas of everything. Hare Krishna.
Okay. When the nostrils of the universal form, the gross nostril is called Adibhuta. So it is called Nasika. So Lakshmana cut the nose of Surpanaka. That's why the Panchavati became Nasika. So Nasika means the fleshy nose, fleshy nostril. So then the two Ashwini Kumaras entered into the nostril of the universal form. So Ashwini Kumaras are the Adideva. And they entered along with the portion of the subtle sense organ, the nose. Grana. Grana means it is the subtle sense organ which takes the information from the gross nostril to the heart. The smell. So there is a gross nostril which actually captures the odor which is around us. The information of that odor will be transmitted from our nostril to the heart. That is done by the subtle sense organ Adhyatma. By the nose, the smell appeared. So different kinds of smells also appeared. That is called again Adibhuta. So in that way. Yatha means from the nose. So now the example of eyes is there. Niribinne akshani tvasta.
निर्भिन्ने निर्भिन्ने त्वष्टा
Lokapalo vishadvibho.
लोकपालो विशद्विभो
Chakshushamshena rupanam.
चक्षुषांसेन रूपाणां
Pratipattiryato bhavet.
प्रतिपत्तिर्यतो भवेत्. Translation. Thereafter, the two eyes of the gigantic form of the Lord were separately manifested. The sun, the director of light, entered them with the partial representation of eyesight, and thus the living entities can have vision of forms.
Yeah, this example we just discussed. When the grass eyeballs of the universal form became differentiated, grass eyeballs is Akshini. The precedent it is sun entered along with his portion, the subtle sense organ called the eye, Chakshusha Amshena. So grass eye is Akshini, the subtle eye is Chakshusha. So the eyeball is there, fleshy eyeball always in the face only. But the information collected by this grass eyeball is taken from there to the heart by Chakshu, the subtle sense organ, eye. From the eye, the sense object called form appeared, so that we can see the form of different objects and different people with the help of the eyes under supervision of sun. So like that. So the Akshini is Adibhuta, Surya is Addeva, and Chakshu is Adhyatma, and Rupa is again Adibhuta. Here Tvashta is the sun. Sun name is called Tvashta here. Nirbhinnani yasya charmani
निर्भिन्नानि यस्य चर्माणि
lokapalo nilavishat
लोकपालो निलोविशात्
pranenamshena samsparsham
प्राणेनांशेन संस्पर्शम्
येनासौ प्रतिपद्यते.
येन सो प्रतिपाद्यते. Translation: When there was a manifestation of skin separated from the gigantic form. Anila, the deity directing the wind, entered with partial touch, and thus the living entity can realize tactily knowledge. Hare Krishna.
So now about the skin. When the grass skin of the universal form became differentiated, the presiding deity Vayu, along with his portion, the subtle sense organ called skin, entered by the sense organ of skin, the sense object of touch arose. So basically, when the grass skin Adibhuta manifested, Vayu, the Adideva, entered into that grass skin of the universal form. The touch sensation will be carried from the upper skin to the heart by the subtle skin. Here the subtle skin is called as prana. Okay. And as a result of that, the sense of touch will be manifested. So like that, we'll be able to experience the sense of touch. Smooth, rough, hot, cold, etc. Pranina refers to the skin sense organ, which spread over the body like the prana. Just like prana is spreading all over the body, like that the subtle sense organ, subtle skin also spread all over the human body. Anywhere we are touched, we experience such a sensation. That is because of this charma and prana. So it is like that. Next, the ears, the fifth Jnanendriya. We have started with first Karmendriya mouth, then the Jnanendriya tongue, then the Jnanendriya nose, then the Jnanendriya eyes, then the Jnanendriya skin, now the Jnanendriya ears. Karnav asya vinirbinnau.
Karnavasya vinirvino.
Prabhuji, let others also recite. Dishnam swam vivishurdisha.
Vishwam Swami Vivishurdisha
श्रोत्रेणांशेन शब्दस्य
Shotrenamshen Shabdasya
सिद्धिं येन प्रपद्यते.
Nimyena Prabhatyate. Translation. When the years of gigantic form become manifested, all the controlling entities of the direction entered into them with the hearing principle by which all the living entities hear and take advantage of sound. Hare Krishna.
So, Karna. When the gross ears of the universal form became differentiated, the gross ear is Karna. Okay. The precise of the directions, Disha or Dig Devata, along with their portion, the subtle sense organ called the ears, Shrotra. Shrotra is the subtle sense organ. We have gross Karna, which is seen by us outside our face, and then when something is somebody speaks something, the sound enters into our ears, and from ears the information is carried to heart. That carrying mechanism is called subtle sense organ, that is called Shrotra. So by the ears, knowledge of the sense objects called sound also appeared. Shabda is a Tanmatra, that is also Adibhuta. So like that. So this is how the five Jnanendriyas have made their appearance in the universal form with a particular function to supervise the activity of the respective senses. Siddham means knowledge. Okay, five Jnanendriyas are over, one Karmendriya is over. Now let us see the remaining Karmendriyas. Tvacham asya vinirbinnam.
Tvacham asya binirhinnam.
Vivishurdishnamaushadhi.
Vivisirudhisnyam osadhi. Hare Krishna.
Prajit.
Senaromabhir kandum.
Okay. Air asau pratipadyate.
Air asau pratipadayate. Translation. When there was a separate manifestation of skin, the controlling deities of sensation and their different parts entered into it, and thus the living entities feel itching and happiness due to touch. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. When the grass skin of the universal form appeared, the present deities of the plants, Oshadi, along with their portion subtle organ called body hairs, Adhyatma, entered. By these body hairs, relief from itching, its function also appears. This is a separate function. It is not directly connected to the karmendriyas or jnanendriyas. But in relation to skin, this is also one more point that is mentioned in the second canto, first chapter, as part of the universal form. So in that way it is mentioned. Oshadi stands for Oshadaya. On the adhisthana of skin, two subtle sense organs. One is skin previously mentioned and body hairs mentioning in this verse. Both of them appear. The present deity of the skin sense organ is Vayu for the touch sensation, and the sense object is touch. The present deities of the hair sense organ are plants, and their function is relief from itching. So it's basically when the grass skin appeared, previously we saw that the Vayu entered, along with him the subtle sense organ, the subtle skin prana also entered, and touch also manifested. Now, along with Vayu, the Oshadi means all the plants who are acting as the deities for the grass skin, in which the subtle sense organ is body hair. The bodily hair also appears, na? Just like on the surface of the earth there are plants, on the surface of our body are hair. Like that it is taken. And then from them there is relief from itching. I don't know, doctors may know about this. The hairs which are acting as solution from itching of the skin, something like that. So this is also another element that has been indicated here, in addition to Jnanadesha and Karmendriyas. Medram tasya vinirbinnam.
Nedram tasya vinirbinnam
Swadishnyam ka upavishat.
swadeshyam ka upavisat
Retasam shena enasau.
retasam sena enasha
Anandam pratipadyate.
anandam pratipadyate. Translation. When the genitals of the gigantic form separately became manifest, then Prajapati, the original living creature, entered into them with his partial semen, and thus the living entities can enjoy sex pleasure.
Yeah. When the grass sense organ of the universal form became differentiated, the present deity Prajapati Daksha, along with its portion, the subtle sense organ which emits semen, entered and dwelled there. By this sense organ, sexual bliss appeared. Basically, for begetting children, the grass sense organ and the subtle sense organ. The grass sense organ is called Chishna, the subtle sense organ is called Upastha. So they appeared. Ka means Prajapati. So Prajapati Daksha. Retatha means the sense organ by which gives semen. This means Brahma or any of his sons called Prajapatis. But Brahma is the present deity of intelligence according to text number 23. Thus, some take this deity to mean Daksha. Generally, Ka means Brahma, but here Ka is taken as Prajapati Daksha because Prajapati Daksha is directly involved in looking after the function of genitals, etc. So it is like that. So then anus for the purpose of excretion. Gudam pumsho vinirvinnam
Gudam
Gudam
pumso
nirvinnam
mitro lokasya avishat
mitro lokesha
payunam shena yenasau
payunameshna yena show
visargam padipadyate.
visargam pratipadyate. The evacuating channel separately become manifest and the director named Mitra entered into it with partial organs of evacuation. Thus, the living entities are able to pass stool and urine.
Yeah. When the gross anus of the universal form became differentiated, the preserved deity Mitra, along with his portion, the subtle sense organ, the anus. So gross sense organ is Gudam. The subtle sense organ is Payu. It also entered. By the sense organ of the anus, the excretory function appeared. So throwing out appeared. Visarga means elimination of stool and urine. So it is like that. This function manifested. Then hands and legs. Two more karmendriyas. Mouth is over, genitals are over, anus is over. The hands and legs will be mentioned in the next two verses. Astav asya vinirvinnav
Astavasya vinirvinnam
Indra swarpatiravishat
Indra Swarapatir Avisat
Vartayamshena purusho
Varta Amsena Purusho
Yaya vrittim prapadyate.
Jaya Vrittim Prapadyate. Translation. Thereafter, when the hands of the gigantic form separately became manifested, Indra, the ruler of the heavenly planets, entered into them, and thus the living entity is able to transact business for his livelihood.
When the two hands, Adibhuta, of the universal form manifested, the preserved deity Indra, Adidaiva, along with his portion, the sense organ called the hands, which perform buying and selling, Adhyatma, entered the universal form. By the hands, means of livelihood appeared. See, kindly understand. There is something called the fleshy bone and the physical grass hand. And then the subtle sense organ is the ability to perform the activity with the hand. A paralyzed person also has a grass hand, but is not able to lift the hand and do anything. So we are able to lift the hand, we are able to give some things to others and collect from others some objects, and we are able to perform all our duties. All our duties for our livelihood are basically performed by our hands. That's why it is called Varta. Varta comes from Vritti. So here buying and selling means Vartaya. Amshana means buying and selling, Adhyatma. But in one sense that is basically Vritti. So by the hands, means of livelihood appeared. So but at the beginning, by creating us the hands, we will be able to perform activities. We will be able to earn our livelihood with our hands. So it is like that. Vartaya means Shakti of buying and selling or receiving and giving. Varta means ability to make things. This refers to the hands. Vritti means livelihood. Basically, Varta means to make something, to do some activity. As a result of that, we will maintain ourselves. That is called Vritti. So like that. Padav asya vinirbinnau
पादौ अस्य विनिर्भिन्नौ
loko vishnur avishat
लोको विष्णुराविशत्
लोकेशो विष्णुराविशत्
लोकेषु विष्णु आविशत्
गत्या स्वांशेन पुरुषो
गत्या स्वांशेन पुरुषो
यया प्राप्यं प्रपद्यते.
यया प्राप्यं प्रपद्यते. Thereafter, the legs of the gigantic form separately became manifest, and the demigod named Vishnu, not the personality of Godhead, entered with partial movement. This helps the living entity move to his destination. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, when the gross feet of the universal form became differentiated, the present deity Vishnu. This Vishnu is not Lord Vishnu, but he is also one of the devatas. He is called Vishnu, sometimes he is called Upendra, sometimes. So he will be the deity for the legs. Along with his portion, the subtle organ called feet, which cause motion, entered that form. By the sense organ of the feet, attaining a destination also appeared. Basically, the physical legs are the padav, and the ability to walk, gatya, is the subtle sense organ. So it is like that. As a result of that, we will go to our destination by walking. So like that. So like this, the 5 Jnanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas are over. In addition to that, one more additional thing, the plants, the airs, body airs are also mentioned. Now, the next four verses will talk about the manifestation of 4 Antakaranas. Man, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chetana. How these 4 manifested is mentioned in the next 4 verses. Buddhim chaso vinirbinnam
बुद्धिं चास्य विनिर्भिन्नं
Vagisho Dishnamavishat
वागीसोदिष्ण्यम् आविशत्
Bodhenamshena Bodhavyam
बोधेनांशेन बोधव्यम्
Pratipattiryato Bhavet.
प्रतिपत्तिर्यतो भवेत्. Translation: when the intelligence of the genetic form separately became manifest, Brahma, the Lord of the Vedas, entered into it with the partial power of understanding. Thus, an object of understanding is experienced by the living entities.
Yeah. When the section of the heart for intelligence of the universal form became differentiated, there is already one gross heart, and within that, a small portion is allocated for intelligence. The Antakarna, the internal senses. And the deity also Brahma entered into the heart, where the portion separated for intelligence, along with his portion of the sense organ of the intelligence, Adhyatma. By intelligence, understanding appeared. So intelligence itself is a subtle sense organ. So treating again that as a Adibhuta Andal, I am not sure how can we treat it as Adibhuta, etc. Because the intelligence itself is subtle sense organ only. But still, here it is taken as Adibhuta. So a portion in the heart is allocated separately. So the portion in the heart is Adibhuta, and Buddhi, which is intelligence, is Adhyatma, and Lord Brahma is Adidaiva. And what is the function of this Buddhi? The function of Buddhi is understanding, Bodhavyam, understanding about something. That is the function of Buddhi. Buddhi in the verse means the place where intelligence resides, one part of the heart. Buddhi in this verse means the place where intelligence resides, one part of the heart. Vagisha is Brahman. Bodhena means by the intelligence. This verse is not accepted by all. Some versions of the Bhagavatam will have this verse, some versions of Bhagavatam may not have this verse. So I don't know what is the reason, but that is what is indicated here. So basically in the heart, one portion is dedicated for Buddhi or intelligence. Then there is another portion dedicated for Ahankara, one portion dedicated for mind, and one portion dedicated for Chetana. Though he has office and has office space, but their separate location is given to it. So in that way. Hrudayam chasya nirbhinnam.
Hridayam
Hridayam
chasya vinnam.
nirvinnam.
Chandramadishnamavishat.
Chandrama Dishname Abhisat.
Manasamshena yenasau.
Manasasmena Enasu.
Vikriyam pratipadyate.
Vikriyam Pratipadyate. After that, the heart of the gigantic form separately manifested itself, and into it entered the moon demigod with partial mental activity. Thus, the living entity can conduct his mental speculations.
And then another location in the heart, Adibhuta manifested, into which the deity Chandra, along with the subtle sense, the mind, Manasa, entered there. And by the mind, the mental activities appeared. Vikriyam, mental activities such as happiness, distress, sankalpa, vikalpa, determination, etc. All these things are different activities of the mind. They all manifest. Vikriyam means actions of the mind such as determination, sankalpa, vikalpa, etc. Atmanam chasya vinirbinnam.
Atmanam chasya nirbinnam.
Adimano vishatpadam.
Abhimano vishatpadam.
Karmanam shena yenasau.
Karmanangshena yenasau.
Kartavyam pratipadyate.
Kartavyam pratipadyate. Translation. Thereafter, the materialistic ego of the gigantic form separately manifested itself, and into it entered Rudra, the controller of false ego, with its own partial activities by which the living entity transacts his objective actions. Hare Krishna.
When the abode of Ahankara in the heart of the universal form became differentiated, the present deity Rudra, along with his portion, the Ahankara, entered it. By this Ahankara, identifying oneself became manifested. Kartavya means identifying oneself and acting accordingly. I am a human being, I am this, I am that, and accordingly one's duties are indicated. Abhimana means he by whom one develops the sense of I, Abhiman. This is the deity Rudra. Karmana means by the Ahamkara. Kartavya means what one identifies with. So basically, when the third section of the heart manifested, Rudra enters into it along with Ahankara, and from Ahankara there comes Abhiman or identity. And the last, the fourth portion in the heart is Chitta, for which there is some space created. Tattvam chastya vinirbinnam.
Sattvam chasya vinirbinnam.
Mahan Vishnam upavishat.
Mahan Vishnyam upavishat.
Chittenam shena yenasau.
Chittenam sena yenasau.
Vijnanam pratipadyate.
Vijnanam pratipadyate. Translation. Thereafter, when his consciousness separately manifested itself, the total energy, Mahat Tattva, entered with his conscious part. Thus, the living entity is able to conceive specific knowledge.
When the location in the heart for Chitta became differentiated, the precedent deity Vishnu. So the deity of intelligence is Brahma, the deity of mind is Chandra, the deity of Ahankara is Rudra, and the deity of Chitta is Vishnu. This is Lord Vishnu. Along with his portion Chitta, entered that place. By Chitta, consciousness appeared. Vijnanam pratipadyate means this will be the result of troubling Chitta. So when the fourth portion, the heart manifested, Vishnu enters as a deity and Chitta enters as a subtle sense organ, and from which there comes Vijnanam, consciousness or awareness appears. Sattvam means the location of Chitta in one part of the heart. Mahan means Lord Vishnu. Vijnanam means consciousness. Chitta is a portion of Mahatattva in the individual Jiva. At the universal level, that first element is Mahatattva. At our individual body level, the same Mahatattva is situated as Chitta. Thus, Man, Buddhi, Ahankara and Chitta, these four subtle elements are situated in the core of the heart in four different places. So by providing these places for these four elements within the core of the heart, they will be able to continue the research. I mean, they will be able to become aware of everything. So in that way. So that is how all the 24 elements along with their 14 devatas have manifested with the particular places so that the devatas can perform their respective functions. For every devata, there is a particular office has been created so that they can be situated in that office and perform the respective office work. So like that. So in summary, you can see all those things are there. First we saw mouth. So from mouth, Agni entered along with voice so that we can speak words. Palat, Varuna entered along with tongue, Jiva, so that we can experience taste. Then nostril, Ashwini Kumara entered along with Grana, we can smell. Eyeballs, Surya entered along with the Chakshu, so that we can experience vision from Akshini. And from the eyeball, when the eyeball is manifested, Surya entered along with Chakshu, subtle eye, so that we can see various forms. When skin manifested, Vayu entered along with Twach, Tvacha, subtle skin, so that we can experience touch. When ears are manifested, the Digdevatas entered along with Shrotra, so that we can experience sound, we can hear sound. And when genitals manifested, Prajapati Daksha entered along with Shishna, so that we can experience children. When grass anus manifested, when the grass anus appeared, Lord Mitra entered into that grass anus of the universal realm along with Satyalan. So when the hands are manifested, Indra entered along with the subtle hands, so that we can do buying, selling, and the means of livelihood. When grass feet appeared, Upendra entered along with the ability to walk, the subtle sense organ, so that we can move to attain a destination. When the heart appeared, within the heart there are four portions made. In those four portions, Soma, Brahma, Rudra, Vishnu entered along with the subtle sense organs, Man, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chetana. For along with them, the functions from the mind to desire appeared, from Buddhi to understand, from Ahankara to identify oneself, from Chitta to be conscious of one's own existence. They all manifested. So this is the functions of the uh, the, the universal form, providing different areas for the different devatas, those that they can perform various activities. See here, the 14 devatas are there who offered prayers to Karnadaksha Vishnu previously. These are the 14 devatas, they offered prayers to Lord. Now the 14 devatas have got their office space so that they can start their respective activities. So like that. Any questions till now? Hare Krishna. All of you are able to follow?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, in this, to describe that this universal form, the heart, their mind has any mind deity has manifested. So why it is on heart, not in the
gigantic form, the brain head, this type form manifested.
Can you repeat, Prabhuji?
Prabhuji, in this universal form, it is described as in the universal form in the heart, the mind is manifested. So why this? Because the mind resting place is the head. So
Who said mind resting place is head? कौन बताया आपको?
We know, everybody. We also know. Mind is there in the head.
See, no, matlab somebody must have told you, na? By birth only you know it or what?
No, actually, at today's whatever the books there we are reading, that describe the brain is the sitting place of mind.
No. Heart is the sitting place of man, buddhi, ahankara, chetana. These four subtle elements are situated in the heart. Brain is only having a neural mechanism. It is a neural network. The information passes through brain and it goes all the way up to heart. Even the modern neural network systems, they talk about the three different brains. One brain is there on the cerebral, the head brain. One brain is in the heart. There is third brain, the gut brain, heart brain, and cerebral brain. Like the three different brains are there. And these three are interconnected through proper neural network. So kindly remove that idea that the mind, intelligence, ahankara, and chetana, all these four are there in the heart of the living entity, not in the mind of the living entity, not in the brain of the living entity.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes, Mataji. Your voice is not audible.
Prabhuji, now it is audible?
Yes, it is clear.
Yeah, Prabhuji, when Lord Vishnu enters a heart, it along with the chit means it's chitta. Vishnu, which you are telling is Shirodaksha Vishnu.
Maybe, may not be. Maybe Shirodaksha Vishnu bhi ho sakta hai. Because Brahma, Shiva, and Soma, the one who is there in the universe is Shirodaksha Vishnu. Yes, we can take him as the deity for Chitta also.
So he is the deity of Chitta, and the Paramatma, who is in the heart, he is different from.
No, he can do both the functions. Na? He can be Paramatma also. He can do the function. He can oversee the functions of Chitta also. Why not? The same Shirodaksha Vishnu is the Paramatma as well as the deity for Chitta also.
Okay, got clear.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Like here it is mentioned that the universal form was created by Lord Sri Shakti, but still it is considered as material.
Where it is translated as material, I was telling 100 times, this is the subtle universal form. This is not a gross universal form.
The subtle universal form is spiritual.
No, it is neither spiritual nor material. So what it is, we will understand later. At the end of the chapter, there is a discussion about it. That time we'll understand. There is nothing like, I mean, why you want to distinguish whether something is material or spiritual? Is it the universal form?
It's neither material, neither spiritual.
I mean, we can't deny it completely like that. But since it is subtle universal form, which is part of the material universe, so from that point of view, we can say material. But later on, it is said that it is manifested from the Yogamaya potency of the Supreme Lord. Since if it is a manifestation of Yogamaya potency, you can also call it as spiritual also. So, I mean, we can't clearly distinguish whether it is clearly material or spiritual. For that, that's why I'm saying that it is a subtle universal form.
So this universal form is also like created, maintained, and annihilated.
No, Baba. See, what is the responsibility of Kshirodaksha Vishnu?
Shiva is the Paramatma in all the art.
Nine. Is the maintainer. Is the Guna Avatara.
Yeah.
So he has to maintain the entire universe. So Kshirodaksha Vishnu maintains the entire universe with the help of this universal form. This universal form is nothing but the organization structure. That's what I'm saying. I gave the example of office. There is the eye office, there is a tongue office, there is a nostril office, there is a ear office, there is hand office, legs office, genital office, anus office, mouth office, mind office, intelligence office, ahankara office, chitta office. So it is a system which maintains the entire universe with everyone in the universe. Just like there is an organization to maintain the company, to maintain a temple, to maintain any institution. Same way, this is the system which maintains the entire universe.
Okay, so this universal form is the manifestation of Lord's Chit Shakti.
Lord's Yogamaya potency.
Yogamaya
in order to
potency.
maintain the entire universe.
So, and when Lord Krishna shows Arjuna the universal form, is it the same universal form or like?
Same. The difference is like this. Here we are talking about different departments and different services with different in charges. So we have seen all the different personalities are there, like Agni, Varuna, Ashwini Kumara, Surya, Vayu, etc. And they have respective departments and different functions, and location of the department also mentioned. When all these people come forward to give a photo shoot and group photo, that is the universal form mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, we only see the people who are responsible for maintaining the entire universe. But in the Bhagavatam, we are only seeing the departments which are responsible for the maintenance of, responsible for functioning of different activities. That is the difference we have to see between the Bhagavad Gita universal form, Bhagavatam universal form.
Okay.
So like that. Okay. So this is the first part. The three types of Atma Shaktis have been indicated. Now in the second part, section number 27 to 33, we will see the one type of Jiva Shakti that will be indicated here. The one type of Jiva Shakti manifesting in the form of Devatas in the mode of goodness, the human beings in the mode of passion, the Asuras and Rakshasas in the mode of ignorance, that is indicated here. Shirshnosya Tarapadhyam
शीर्ष्णोस्य द्यौर्धरापाद्भ्याम्
Kam Naber Udapadyata
कं नाभेर् उदपद्यत
Gunanam Mruttayo Eshu
गुणानां वृत्तयो येषु
Pratiyante Suradaya.
प्रतीयन्ते सुरादया. Translation.
Please read project.
Therefore, from the head of the gigantic form, the heavenly planets were manifested, and from his legs, the earthly planets, and from his abdomen, the sky separately manifested themselves. Within them, the demigods and others also were manifested in terms of the modes of material nature.
Yeah. From the head of the universal form appeared Swarga. From his feet appeared the earth, and from his navel appeared the Bhuvarloka. So basically, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Sargaloka. They appeared from the feet, navel, and the head. In these places, one sees the Devatas in the Swarga and other beings who are transformations of the Gunas in other places. So like that. This verse describes the creation of the three worlds, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka. Vrittaya means transformations. Having described the manifestations of the three Atma Shaktis, Adhyatma, Adidaiva, and Adibhuta, at the universal form from text number 1226. Now Maitreya is going to describe the manifestation of the one Jiva Shakti as the Devatas, human beings, and the Asuras, along with the followers of Rudra, along with their residences in text number 27 to 29. The living entities and their modes and their locations are indicated together in these 3-4 verses. And later on, from text number 30 to 34, there is a discussion about 10 prana shaktis in the form of the different duties of the human beings in Bhuloka among the various abodes. The prana shakti means kriya shakti. Kriya shakti means performing action. So what are the duties of the living entities, especially in the Bhuloka? That will be indicated in the next section. Atyantikena satvena
Atyantikena satvena
divam deva prapedire
divam deva prapedhire
dharam raja svabhavena
dharam rajah subhavena
panayo echatan anu.
anayo echata anu. Translation. The demigods, qualified by the super excellent qualities of the mode of goodness, are situated in the heavenly planets, whereas the human beings, because of their nature in the mode of passion, live on the earth in company with their subordinates.
Yeah. By the predominance of Sattva-guna, the Devatas achieved Swargaloka. The mankind achieved earth by the predominance of Rajoguna, along with beings useful for supporting their life. That means, by excellent Sattva, the Devatas attained Swarga. Men, those who carry out transactions, attain the earth, Bhuloka, along with those beings who are useful for supporting their lives, such as cows and all. See, especially in our Bhuloka, we need the support of all the different variety of beings, aquatics, reptiles, birds, beasts, etc. So most of these animals and other things are there on Bhuloka only. Majority are there in Bhuloka. They may be there in other lokas also, but majority are there in Bhuloka because we depend upon them and they depend upon us. There is a mutual dependence among us. So like that. Panaya means those who survive themselves by the performance of various activities, the Varnashrama duties by their hands. Panaya means pani. So those people who survive themselves by performing activities by the hands are called Panaya. They are called human beings. So like that. Human beings by performing Varnashrama duties with one's own hands, they will survive themselves. So like that. So the Devatas by the Sattva attained Sargaloka, the humans by Rajas attained Bhuloka, the Asuras and Rakshasas by Tamoguna attains Bhuvarloka. That is indicated here. Tartiyena Sabhavena
Kartiyena Sabhavena
Bhagavanna Bhimashrita
Bhagavanabhim Asritaha
Ubayorantaram Vyoma
Ubayor Antaram Yoma
Ye Rudra Parshadam Gana.
He Rudra Parsadam Gana. Translation. Living entities who are associates of Rudra develop in the third modes of the material nature or ignorance. They are situated in the sky between the earthly planets and the heavenly planets. Hare Krishna.
So here it is said that by nature of tamas, those who are the followers of Rudra attain Bhuvarloka, the navel region of the universal form between Sarga and earth, Sargaloka and Bhuloka. Tartiyena means by the third guna tamas. Those who are persons among the followers of Rudra take shelter of the navel of the universal form. What is that? It is the space between the Bhuloka and the Swargaloka. That means it is Bhuvarloka. Also the 7 Bilaswargas, the abodes of the Asuras, are the abodes of the Asuras within the Bhumandala are below the surface of the Bhuloka, also fall in this category. So the Asuras and the Rakshasas not only live in the Bhuvarloka, they also live in the 7 lower planet systems known as Bilaswargas. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, they all meant for Asuras and Rakshasas. They live there also. These places are also in the mode of ignorance. It's like that. While Swargaloka is considered as the chest of the Lord and Bhurloka is considered as the navel portion of the Lord, the Bhuloka and the 7 Bilaswargas are considered as the legs of the Lord, the feet of the Lord. So in that way, everything is clear. So now, so these verses talked about 27 to 20, verse number 29. They talked about the creation of one type of Jiva Shakti as Devatas, human beings, and Asuras and Rakshasas. Now, the manifestation of 10 Prana Shaktis in the form of various Varnashtama duties for one's own survival are indicated from text number 30 to 33. So how the 4 Varnas especially appeared from the 4 different parts of the universal form are indicated in this place, in this section. Mukato Vartata Brahma
Mukato Vartata Brahma
Purushasya Kurudvaha
Purusasya Kurudvaha
Yastunmukatvad Varnanam Yastunmukatvad Varnanam Mukyo Bodh Brahmano Guru.
Mukhya Bhut Brahmana Guru. Translation: O chief of the Kuru dynasty, the Vedic wisdom became manifested from the mouth of Virata, the gigantic form. Those who are inclined to this Vedic knowledge are called Brahmanas, and they are the natural teachers and spiritual master of all the orders of society.
From the mouth of the universal form appeared Brahmanas and also the Vedic literatures. That is indicated here. O best of the Kurus, from the mouth of the universal form the Vedas appeared. The Brahmanas, who are the chief among the 4 Varnas, and the Gurus of the different Varnas, other Varnas, because they favorable toward the Vedas, also appeared from the mouth of the universal form. So from the mouth of the universal form, the Vedas and the Brahmanas who preach Vedas appeared, and they become Gurus by preaching the Vedas. This describes the manifestation of the Varnas. The Vedas appeared from the mouth of the universal form, called the Purusha, because of identity with the Lord by the worshipper. The Brahmanas who, because of being favorable to the Vedas, became the chief of the Varnas, the Gurus of the Varnas, also appeared from the mouth of the universal form. So, having described the 3 Atma Shaktis and 1 Jiva Shakti, now Maitreya Rishi is going to describe the manifestation of 10 Prana Shaktis and the Kriya Shakti, the principal duties of the human beings in Bhuloka. The Varnas, the 4 Varnas, what kind of duties they have, that is indicated as a representative of 10 kind of Prana Shaktis. So like that. Bahyubhyo Vartata Kshatram
Bhavyubhyo Vartana Kshatram
Kshatriyastadanu Vartata
Kshatriyasad Anuvartata
Yo Jatastrayate Varnan
Yojaitasya Trayate Varnan
Purushaha Kantakakshatat.
Purushaha Kantaka Kakshata. Translation: Thereafter, the power of protection was generated from the arms of gigantic Virat form, and in the relation to such power, the Kshatriya also came into existence by following the Kshatriya principle of protecting society from the disturbances of thieves and miscreant. Hare Krishna.
From the arms of the universal form appeared the functions of protection and the brave Kshatriyas who act according to that principle, who protect the other Varnas from troublesome aggressors because of their protective nature. So from the mouth, Brahmanas and Vedas appeared. From the hands, the Kshatriyas and the protection principle appeared. Kshatra means the ability to protect. Those who are inclined to this principle also appeared from the arms. They protect the Varnas from violence of thieves and others because of having this protective nature. Like that. Then विश्वो वर्तन्त तस्योरुर्
विश्वो वर्तन्त तस्योर्वोर्
लोकवृत्तिकरेर्विभो
लोकवृत्तिकरेर्विभोः
वैश्यस्तद् उद्भवो वार्ताम्
वैश्यस्तद् उद्भवो वार्ताम्
नृणां या समवर्तयत्
नृणां यः समवर्तयत्. Translation: the means of livelihood of all persons, namely production of grains and their distribution to the prajas, was generated from the thighs of the Lord's gigantic form. The mercantile men who take charge of such execution are called Vaishyas.
Yeah. From the thighs of the universal form appeared the occupations such as farming, which give sustenance to the people, and the Vaishyas who produced sustenance for all men. From thighs appeared business such as farming and cow protection, which provide maintenance for all people. The Vaishyas also appeared from the thighs of the universal form, who supplied maintenance for human beings by their behavior and activities. So it's like that. Then finally, the fourth community, the Shudras. Padbyam Bhagavato Jajne
पद्यां भगवतो जज्ञे
Sushrusha Dharma Siddhaye
शुश्रूषा धर्मसिद्धये
Tasyam Jata Pura Sudro
तस्यां जातपुरा शूद्रो
Yadvrutya Tushtaye Hari.
यद्वृत्या तुष्यते हरिः. Translation: Thereafter, service was manifested from the legs of the personality of Godhead for the sake of perfecting the religious function. Situated on the legs are the Sudras who satisfy the Lord by service.
From the feet of the universal form appeared the nature of service for accomplishing the perfection of Varnashrama duties. Varnashrama Dharma Siddhaye. In order to attain the perfection of Varnashramas, all of us need to have this service attitude. And also the Shudras. By this service attitude, the Lord is pleased. Tushtaye Hari. Service for perfecting Varnashrama appeared from his feet. Without that service, the system cannot function properly. So like this, from the mouth, the Vedas and Brahmanas, from the hands, the protection principle and the Kshatriyas, from the thighs, the various occupations such as cow protection and business and Vaishyas, from the legs, from the feet, the service attitude and the Shudras appeared. Though service is the nature of Shudras, it applies to all Varnas. Thus it is stated here that this attitude is for the perfection of all Varnas and Ashramas. Service is a common principle for everyone, not just for Shudras. The Shudra appeared from the feet, which with this attitude, this nature pleases the Lord. That indicates that the service attitude is praised in the Vedas. So like that, so we have seen that from the head of the universe form there appeared Svargaloka, which is in the mode of goodness. The Devatas are staying there. And from the navel region there appears Bhuvarloka and Bilasvargas, which is in the mode of ignorance. The Rudra's followers such as Yakshas, Rakshasas, Bhutapraja, Vishashas and all, they are there. From the legs there appears Bhuloka, which is in the mode of passion. The human beings and other beings who support their lives such as cows, bulls, horses, birds, rams, etc. So, in addition to Svargaloka, there is some portion of Bhurloka, which is also in the mode of goodness, where all the other beings, Siddhacharana, Vidyadharas, Gandharvas, Apsaras, they also reside. That is also in the mode of goodness. That also appeared. So next, from the mouth, the Vedic wisdom and Brahmanas appeared. From the hands, power of protection and Kshatriyas appeared. From the thighs, various occupations such as co-protection and Vaishyas appeared. From the legs, service attitude and Shudras appeared. This is how the Lord manifested 3 Atma Shaktis, 1 Jiva Shakti and 10 Prana Shaktis. or Kriya Shakti. Like this. Ete varnaha swadharmena
Ete varnaha swadharmena
yajanti swagurum harim
yajanti swagurum harim
shraddhayatma vishuddhyartam
Shraddhayatma vishuddhyartam
yajjataha sahavrittibihi.
Yajjataha savrittibihi. Translation. All these different social divisions are born with their occupational duties and living conditions from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, for unconditional life and self-realization, one has to worship the Supreme Lord under the direction of the spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All these four varnas who appeared along with those occupations from the universal form faithfully worship the Lord as their Guru by performing their duties. Swadharmana sa gurum arim, for the purpose of purification. So, all these varnas have been created only for the purpose of our purification. So, we need to perform our varnashram duties as an offering to Supreme Lord so that we are purified as a result of that. The varnas appeared along with their occupations. Thus, in worshipping the Lord, one should not be worried about obtaining one's livelihood. Instead of treating the varnashram duties as a means of livelihood, one should treat the varnashram duties as the duties meant for one's purification. So that is what is indicated in this verse. So it is like that. Any questions till now? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, what is Bila Swarga? Bila Swarga.
Bilaswarga and all will discuss later on the 5th canto it will come. But Bilaswarga is basically the lower 7 planetary systems. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. Because they are located within the bill, like tunnels. Like Bombay, Pune, we have so many tunnels now within the mountain. So within the Bhumandala, there are 7 bills. So each bila is called one abode. That's why they are called Bilaswargas.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Any other devotees have any question? Okay. If there are no questions, so we'll stop the class here only. I have another class at 1 o'clock. So I just need some break. I will have some prasad mandal. So thank you very much for joining. So we'll continue next Sunday. The last, Maitreya Muni offers some concluding words and prayers and exhibits his limitation and glorify the Supreme Lord, etc. That we will see next week and continue with the 7th chapter. Hare Krishna. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna,
Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.